You need to know Amazon resource name or ARN to work on IAM. ARNs are unique identifiers given to each and every resource out there in AWS, like EC2 instance, a VPC, security group, DynamoDB table, S3 buckets and objects, etc. Whatever resource you can think of in AWS, every single one of them has an ARN associated with it. Amazon resource name uniquely identify AWS resources. Every resource in AWS is provided with an ARN. Let's look at the ARN format. This is the syntax of ARN. Don't get scared, I will describe each and every portion of it. These are the other ways to describe resource using ARN. This is the keyword and it will always be there at the beginning of the ARN. It is a constant and will never change. Partition is a logical place where AWS resource resides in. For standard AWS regions, it is AWS. For other regions, it is AWS dash the partition name. For example, for Mumbai, as Mumbai is in India, it would be AWS-IN. For Beijing, it is AWS-CN, etc. Then we have service. Service actually the AWS service which this resource belongs to. It can be S3, it can be RDS, EC2, IAM, DynamoDB, etc. Region is where AWS resource resides in. For North Virginia, it is US East 1. For Mumbai, it is AP South 1, etc. Then the account ID, which is the numeric ID of the account which owns the AWS resource. All the resources under my account would be owned by me. So for example, if I launch an EC2 instance, the account ID would be my account's numeric ID. Then we have resource, the resource type, oblique resource or resource type colon resource. It varies by service, contains type of resource and the name or ID of the resource. For example, in EC2 there are multiple resource types, right? We have instance, we have AMI, VPC is also a resource type in EC2 service itself. Then we have key pairs, security groups, etc. All these are resource types, and resource is the ID which is generated by AWS, as we have seen in description tab for all services which we have seen so far. Let's see some example. In EC2 we have multiple resource types. This is for EC2 instance itself. The resource type is instance and then slash the instance ID, which is the resource. This is for AMI. The resource type is image and the image ID or the AMI ID is actually the resource belonging to this resource type. Key pair would be represented like this in ARN. This is an ARN for network interface or ENI. The resource type is network interface and then the ENI ID. For EBS, this is the EBS volume. This is the ARN for EBS snapshot. A few more. For VPC, this is for the VPC itself. Notice the service is still EC2. There is no VPC service. A VPC itself belongs to the EC2 service, although the resource type is VPC and VPC ID would be the actual resource. This is for route table, security group, network ACLs, internet gateway, subnet, and VPC peering connections. There are other ARNs also. A few more for elastic load balancer. Similarly, we have ARN representation for all AWS services like autoscaling, Route 53, S3, DynamoDB, RDS and others as well. Till now, you have seen that I used my email ID and password to log into my AWS account and did everything from there. Let me show you once. You type aws.amazon.com, click on my account and then click on AWS Management Console. This is the email ID which I am using to log into my AWS Management Console. See one thing, it says root user sign in. We'll discuss root user shortly, but when you try to access the Management Console, you have to provide the email ID and the password. And it takes me to my account. I can do anything and everything I want in this account, which means I can launch EC2 instances, I can create or delete VPCs, I can delete an S3 bucket, create DynamoDB tables, etc. There's no one stopping me. But what about corporate environment, which will have an AWS account? Do you give the ID and password to everyone who are AWS admins or solution architects? What if someone accidentally deletes one of the databases or terminates an instance which is hosting a very critical database application or an application server? So there has to be a red line. But where do you define that line? Let's see how AWS services and users are bound together. We have something called root account. This is the account which you use to log into the management console. Every AWS environment will need to have an email ID and password which will act as a root account. Whatever resources we created using AWS services were placed inside of this account. All these resources belong to my account. In case of corporate environment, the corporate account would be the owner of all AWS resources. As I said, not all should have access to do everything, which means these resources should be controlled by only a few users or groups. That is where users and groups come into picture in AWS. These users and groups are called IAM users and IAM groups. These are a set of users created under this root account. This is a group which has multiple users under it. Then there is one more group which has two users, Edward and Anil. All these users and groups belong to this root account. That means these users and groups are also resources under the main root account. Let's say group 2 are group of EC2 admins. That means Edward and Anil are EC2 administrators. So group 2 should have access to perform all operations on EC2 resources like EC2 instances, VPCs, load balancers, etc. Similarly, group 1 has access to perform all operations on DynamoDB as this group belongs to DBAs. All users under group 1 have the same permission or access which has been given to the group itself. User 1 is the storage admin. So user 1 has access to perform all operations on EBS and S3. User 2 does not have any access as of now. All these users and groups which are under this root account have been given some access or the other to access resources which also belong to the same account. This is how users, groups and resources in a particular account are bound by access and permissions. This is a diagram which I use to describe authentication and authorization. We have an organization that has individual departments. Not all employees are authorized to access all departments. Blue employees can access application department, green employees can access IT department, and so on. You can think of the organization as the root account. Employees are IAM users and IAM groups. Same colored employees belong to the same group. And these departments in our organization can be thought of as AWS resources in root account. So this can be EC2, this is IAM, this is DynamoDB, this is S3, etc.